the world's leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. Today, from Rockingham, North Carolina, the AC-Delco 200 Busch Grand National Race, being brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Quaker State Motor Oil, the big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. And by Dodge Cars and Trucks. On the street or off the road, it's the new spirit of Dodge. A partly cloudy afternoon in Rockingham, no threat of rain, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins. We have Grand National Racing for you this afternoon. Last Sunday in Monterey, California, we crowned a kart national champion. We could crown the Grand National champion here this afternoon. Tommy Ellis goes into this race with a 163-point lead on Mike Alexander. All he needs to do is pick up 18 additional points, and he will clinch the championship this afternoon. But, Ned, a very competitive field, separated by about a second.
Competition has been the name of the game for the Busch Series this year. There have been 18 different winners. But this is the closest field, Bob, that I think I have seen on a super speedway. Only about a second separates first place and 40th place. And only 900ths of a second separate second and 13th. So it is going to be a very, very competitive race. But I'll tell you, experience means so much, especially on a super speedway and even in a 200-mile race. Harry Gant has a lot of experience on this racetrack. More on that story. Here's Jerry Punch.
Well, thank you, Ned. Here at North Carolina Motor Speedway, experience is a necessity and patience is a virtue. And you can tell that by the fact that 8 of the 10 Busch Grand National races that have been run here since 1982 have been won by the experienced Winston Cup regulars. On the front row again, a couple of Winston Cup stars, Bobby Hillin and Harry Gant. Now, Gant has the hot hand in Busch Grand National Racing. He has won 3 of the last 5 events. The preferred starting spot this year has been the pole. 5 Busch Grand National races have been won from the pole. The last man to do it, this veteran, 48-year-old Harry Gant. Let's go further up pit road to Larry Newberg.
Of all the stories in Busch racing this year, this is the lead story. It's a drama about a 20-plus year veteran who came into the season with a reputation of being aggressive and a no-holds-barred type of racer. But as the possibility of a championship has loomed ever closer this season, he has changed his very life driving style. Tommy Ellis has become a calculated race driver, a thinking man's race driver. And all those numbers that Bob Jenkins mentioned translate to 5 positions. That's how many spots that Tommy Ellis must finish ahead of Mike Alexander to write the final chapter in the story and win the championship. And where does Mike Alexander begin this race? All the way in the last row.
Mike Alexander had to take a provisional to get into the 39-car field. So we will be back to introduce to you the starting lineup and have the green flag for today's AC-Delco 200 in a moment. There was a record set in Busch Grand National competition this year. In 28 races, there have been 18 different winners. That breaks the old record of 15 set last year. The track that the drivers will be competing on here this afternoon, it's 1.017 miles in length. The pole time was 25.1 seconds, and the speed was a new record of 145 miles an hour. And now let's take a look at the starting lineup. On the pole with that new track record in car number 7 from Taylorsville, North Carolina, Skoal Buick is Harry Gant. Outside the front row will be number 81, Bobby Hillin Jr. Second row, number 90, Ed Barrier, and 28, Davey Allison. Third row, number 15, Jeff Bodine, and 21, Larry Pearson. In row number 4, it's number 11, Jack Ingram, and 8, Dale Earnhardt. Row number 5. To start this race is Brad Teague and Billy Standridge. The 6th row, 25, Rob Moroso, and 17, Darrell Waltrip. Row number 7 consists of Mark Martin in 06 and Schrader in 52, Ronald Cooper in 56, and Jimmy Spencer in 34 in row number 8. The 9th row consists of Mike Swain in 63 and Tommy Ellis in car number 99. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup, you will note one very particular absence, and that is Dale Jarrett, who had a problem in the practice session this morning and will not be able to go in the race this afternoon.
Bobby cut the right front tire in a practice session going into turn 3 and hit the wall pretty hard. It did too much damage to his Portaloo Buick for them to repair it in time for the start of this race, so Dale will have to sit it out.
The field behind the pace car in turns number 3 and 4. This will be a 197 lap race, 200 miles, as the pace car comes off the banking in turn number 4 and through the front stretch area here with Harry Gant and Bobby Hillin Jr. lined up right beside each other, and the green flag comes out, and this AC-Delco 200 is underway.
Hillin tried to race Gant into the first turn, but Gant had the preferred line down on the inside and was able to take the lead coming off of turn 2.
As they come down the backstretch, it's the number 7 car of Harry Gant leading the 81 of Bobby Hillin Jr. Dropping back into third position, the number 28 car of Davey Allison. Racing going on behind the first 3. That's Ed Barrier down on the inside in car number 90. Larry Pearson in 21 to the outside. Here comes Jeff Bodine in the number 15 car. And look at Davey Allison in number 28 trying to grab that second spot from Bobby Hillin Jr. in 81. They go for second position. That's Allison to the inside. They come off the fourth corner banking. It is by well, they were just about side by side as they cross the line. Now Davey Allison goes into second place, passing Bobby Hillin Jr. as Hillin gets a little out of shape in the turn.
Went in the corner a little bit too hard. And Bob, this might be Davey Allison's best track as far as Busch Grand National competition is concerned. He sat on the pole here a couple of years ago and finished the race in second place. He has never won a Busch Grand National race, but he always runs well here.
A good battle going on behind the leaders. Several cars are running right together. There is the number 25 car of Rob Moroso behind the 75 of Brad Teague. Darrell Waltrip is in this group of cars in the number 17 machine. And the number 11 is the former division champion of Busch Grand National competition, Jack Ingram.
Jack had one of his better qualifying runs here for this AC-Delco 200, and he's looking for his first win of 1988. If he doesn't win this year, it'll be the first time since the series started in 1982 that Jack Ingram has not registered in victory.
And there's the 06 car of Mark Martin that is moving up steadily through the field as down the backstretch they go. That's Mark Martin, car 06. He has moved into 12th position. Now here are the leaders once again as the number 7 car of Harry Gant leads the 28 of Davey Allison. First and second there. And you can see that Allison has opened up a little bit of distance between himself and the third place car, which is Bobby Hillin Jr. in number 81. Here comes third and fourth off the corner, but we focus in on first and second position.
Hey, I'm impressed with Davey Allison right now. His car is running very, very strong. He's has caught up to Harry Gant, and Gant has had one of the fastest cars, as Jerry Pope said, in the last several races.
And here's the battle for third place. 81, Bobby Hillin Jr., and 15, Jeff Bodine. Bodine goes to the inside, moving into the first corner, and takes over that third spot. Back there in fifth is the number 90 car, driven by Ed Barrier. Remember, though, the number 99 car, and there it is on the left side of your screen, the red 99 is driven by Tommy Ellis, and he is going for the Busch Grand National Championship this afternoon. He is currently in 20th position, but he has told us in conversations prior to the race that he will not be his normal aggressive style and go for the win necessarily. He wants to play it conservatively and win the championship this afternoon.
And even though he had one of the fastest cars in practice here this morning, Bob, he didn't qualify that well. He had an engine problem, Tommy Ellis did, during qualifying, but he said his car was working very well, but he's still running very, very conservative right now.
And look at this group of cars. The 84 machine of Mike Alexander. Here he comes up through the field. The 84 car, the red one, is driven by Mike Alexander, and that is the second position in the point standings. Alexander, he has come from 34th position and now tries to move around the number 63 car driven by Mike Swain. The 34 machine is driven by Jimmy Spencer. Let's go to the pit area quickly for a comment from Larry Newber about Mike Alexander.
Well, Mike Alexander, of course, has a long ways to come. Remember, he's got those 5 finishing positions that he's got to get that close to Tommy Ellis. Now, just an update on Tommy Ellis. There are a lot of people holding up their shoulders and shrugging them, saying, we're not sure. We think that Tommy's doing exactly what he wants to do, but there is no conversation coming from the cockpit.
So the lead change has taken place now, and Davey Allison has taken over that top spot from Harry Gant. And here's how it happened, Ed.
Davey just came off a turn, got under Harry, and going into the next turn, moved right on the inside and took the lead. His car is very, very strong here this afternoon. Mark Martin, who won the race here in the spring, is in the pits, and so is Billy Standridge. And Billy Standridge, who qualified in the 11th position, is back behind the wall. You can see the hood is up on the Mark Martin car, so that's certainly going to cut his chances of repeating as the winner here at Rockingham.
So Mark Martin had a good run going, having started this race from 14th position. However, he is into the pits, and it looks like it could be a terminal situation. Well, they close the hood, and he goes back out onto the racetrack, but he definitely has lost a lap to the field. And so it is Davey Allison leading Harry Gant in the AC-Delco 200 Busch Grand National race from Rockingham, North Carolina. Jerry Punch and Larry Newber back at North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham for the AC-Delco 200 Busch Grand National race. First and second, number 28, Davey Allison, and number 7, Harry Gant. There is the leader as he took over the lead from Harry Gant just a few laps ago. As you can see here, he finished 13th in the March race. Let's go to Jerry Punch in the pit area with a comment on the guy still running in second spot, Harry Gant.
Well, it's no surprise at all that Harry Gant is dropping back a little bit and has been passed for the lead. Jim Hartman, the crew chief, said they were quite concerned all day today, early this morning and yesterday, about the way the car was running. They have now changed the jets in the engine early this morning. They loosened up the valves a little bit, hoping to get a little more horsepower. But the car is still very, very sluggish coming off the corner. And Harry said the car just doesn't seem to have the oomph he should have to be able to run all day here at Rockingham. So they're quite concerned in this cold pit. How about Larry Newber? How about up where you are?
Well, Jerry, the story down here is Mark Martin. When I talked to him just as he was walking up on the stage during the drivers' meeting, his car was not on the grid yet. He lost an engine this morning, and they worked right up to the last minute to get the car in the starting grid. The reason why he is pitted, he had an oil leak somewhere along the way, you know, hooking up those oil lines quickly. Somebody did get something fastened just right, and that was his problem. He has now been into the pits twice, made the repairs, and he's back out on the speedway.
And we have a spin on the backstretch. Looks like Tommy Sigmund in car 07 has spun, and Joe Milliken, I believe, is also going to be involved as he clips Sigmund to the inside of the racetrack. He just had no place to go. The hole closed up. There's Milliken in 00 involved in the accident with Tommy Sigmund on the backstretch.
Tommy Sigmund was in 16th place in the point standings coming into this race today. Joe Milliken, who drives the Thomas Brothers Country Ham automobile, was not in the running as far as points is concerned. He just took over the wheel of that car recently.
Looks like quite a bit of damage to the front end of that 07 machine driven by Tommy Sigmund. There is part of the front end of the car on the backstretch, just about at the exit of the pits, which are, some pits are on the backstretch here. So Sigmund trying to nurse that car back to his assigned pit area. We take a look at what happened on the backstretch.
Well, you can see Sigmund down on the inside. He's the purple car's 07 trying to move around Ronald Cooper in car number 65. He moves up the side of him coming off the turn, and the car gets a little bit loose. The back end goes around. He tries to correct it. Comes back down on the inside. As we see Jimmy Spencer in car number 34 on the outside, and he spins it the wrong way. And here comes Mike Alexander driving through the smoke down on the inside. Great move by Mike Alexander to miss the spinning car of Tommy Sigmund. But here comes Joe Milliken on the inside, and he couldn't help but hit him.
So a lot at stake for Mike Alexander. Here is another angle, and look at how close it was for Mike Alexander, but he did get through unscathed. But now watch Sigmund go to the inside of the track and close the hole that Joe Milliken would hope would remain open. but Milliken clipping the 07 of Sigmund and also being involved in the crash. So Mike Alexander did get through unscathed, and boy, there is a lot at stake for Mike because he would like the championship to go to the last race of the year at Martinsville.
And we have word that Mike Alexander just went a lap down in the pit, so apparently a miscue on their part, going a lap down in the pits on a caution.
So Alexander does have his work cut out for him now. Remember, Tommy Ellis can win the championship this afternoon. If he picks up a total of 18 points, he will clinch. And here is Harry Gant, who is making a pit stop. And Jerry Punch is there to call the action.
Jim Harmon, the crew chief for the Gant car, the Skull Bandit Buick, the same car that we saw Harry win with at Darlington earlier in the year. And Gant wants to talk to Whitaker and the crew. Apparently he's having radio problems. He's motioning to his radio as the crew goes to work on the right side of the car. They got to be very, very careful. See the one crewman trying to keep a foot on the wall. Now he just goes ahead and climbs over, and he will adjust Gant's radio. Meanwhile, Jim Harmon, Ed Whitaker, and the crew have changed right side tires on this Buick LeSabre, and they were concerned about the right rear tire a little bit. They said a lot of smoke in that right rear, and now a crewman goes in the car, and we'll try to reconnect Gant's radio. That's Jim Harmon, the crew chief, and Gant's car is now down and away. Remember, this is all under caution, so Gant doesn't lose anything on the track except position.
Now, there are different rules as far as tire changing in the Busch Grand National Series. They can only change 2 tires during a caution period without penalty. Now, if they change more than that, then there is a 2-lap penalty.
So Harry Gant makes it back without losing a lap, but will fall back on the tail end of the field. We're at Rockingham, North Carolina for Busch Grand National Racing. We'll be right back. Okay.
Where is the 99? What's position? Okay.
Yep.
Still working on that radio. Or they're working on the radio, which is, I think you're
maybe
right,
they're
Bill.
doing both.
I think you're right. Yeah.
They're definitely cranking some legend.
Should we find out what happened in Alexander's pits as to why they lost a lap?
Yeah, we talked about it. We mentioned that he did go a lap down, but
One to go.
okay. We're under caution in the AC-Delco 200 because of this crash on the backstretch involving Tommy Sigmund.
On the car 0, the purple car 07, trying to pass the car number 56 of Ronald Cooper, and the back end gets loose on the 07. He spins it, tries to correct it, and then spins the wrong way in front of a lot of traffic coming on. Mike Alexander in car number 84 slips by on the inside, but Joe Milliken coming up tries to move on the inside as the car 07 comes down off of the wall and right in the path of Joe Milliken.
Well, Mike Alexander got through the crash, but he lost a lap. Larry, explain what happened.
Well, Bob, that's not definite yet. There's a conversation going on right now with Larry Childress of NASCAR, and now we're getting a word. First we were told no, he wasn't down a lap, and the crew did not even realize, Bob, that he was down a lap. Finally, Larry got the official word, and now it is, yes, certain. Mike Alexander did lose a lap. He was caught at the end of pit road, and we broke the news actually to the crew.
Well, it can't be a very happy situation there in the Mike Alexander crew. He was fighting tremendous odds of keeping Tommy Ellis from winning the championship, having started this race in the last row, but he was moving up nicely, and now another obstacle is thrown in his path.
And boy, Jack Ingram really got himself a jump, but it's going to cost him. They're giving him the black flag on the start of the race. Jack Ingram, who restarted in 8th position, went all of the way to the front, but now they're giving him the black flag. Apparently he accelerated a little bit too early. Let's watch it again. Now he's way back, and you see him coming down on the inside as the green flag is coming out. Evidently it hadn't dropped yet, and he took the lead all the way from 8th place. Boy, that's aggressive driving.
And you knew that NASCAR wasn't going to let him get away with that, so he has been black flagged. The leader of the race, as there comes Jack Ingram in car number 11.
It'll be a stop-and-go penalty, I'm sure. He should be able to stay in the lead lap, but Ingram, who was looking for his best run ever, if it wasn't stop-and-go penalty, he'll take off, but he'll be at the back end of the pack and has a long way to go to get back where he was.
Jack Ingram, a veteran.
And he might have a good chance to do it because there's trouble right in front of him as he comes off of turn 2. There is a car spinning around over there. It's the car number 98.
That's Kirk Bryant, who has spun over in turn number 2, but he's got the car headed the right way and now pulls back onto the racetrack. However, the caution flag does come out once again.
Well, that'll be a break for Jack Ingram because he was going to be almost a lap down. Now at least he'll be at the tail end of the pack, so won't be quite as far behind as he was. As far as distance is concerned, as far as cars are concerned, he's got the same number to pass.
Jack Ingram, 51 years old, the veteran of Grand National competition. When the series opens next year, and there's no reason to believe that Ingram won't be a part of it, he will be 52. There are a couple of other over 50 guys that when the season opens next year will have celebrated their 50th birthday, L.D. Ottinger and Joe Thurman.
So as we're seeing in Winston Cup competition, this sport allows the athletes to continue for a long period of time.
Second caution period of the day because of a spin by Kirk Bryant over in turn number 2. Kirk from High Point, North Carolina, giving the break to the number 11 Skoll Chevrolet driven by Jack Ingram. It is still Davey Allison who leads this race with Jeff Bodine in second spot, followed by Bobby Hillen Jr., then Darrell Waltrip, and then the number 25 car driven by Rob Moroso. Well, this is a rather special race as far as particular cars are concerned. It marks the end of an era for some of the Busch Grand National cars. Dr. Jerry Punch with this quick fact. Quick facts are brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
What do these dinosaurs and this 1979 Chevrolet Nova have in common? Well, they both were heavyweights in their own time, and after today, they both will be considered extinct. Well, NASCAR has legislated this car, the old 112-inch wheelbase cars, out of competition here starting in 1989. So today's the last day for this old car. Take a good long hard look. This 79 Chevrolet Nova, the old Pontiac Venturas, and the Oldsmobile Omegas, those old cars will be gone. Gone the way of the dinosaur.
By the way, Jerry is okay after having almost been consumed by that dinosaur. So downsizing continues in NASCAR competition. There are the top 5. We completed 30 out of 197 laps in the AC-Delco 200 from Rockingham. We'll be back. He got caught at the end of pit road is what Larry said.
Yeah. He might have come in too early before the cars got slowed down. Yeah, I think they found it out.
Neil?
Okay. That's good, Wayne.
Benny
Just
is
needed to cool
watching
it just a
from the
little bit.
booth.
Thank
You want him to participate? Benny is here in the booth with us, just watching. Yeah. Okay. We can't pay you, but you're welcome to join us. Here's a mic right up here if you want it. Sure.
What do you think?
Caution flag is still out here at Rockingham. The field is reforming, though, for the restart, and the number 84 car is the one on the inside up front. But he is down a lap. That's the number 84 driven by Mike Alexander. The leader of the race is on the outside of the track, and that is Davey Allison as they now come off the 25 degrees of banking in turn number 4, and they receive the green flag for the restart. Green comes out on lap number 32.
We saw the blue and red car, number 75, of Brad Hick down on the inside. Brad lost a lap also. In fact, he might have gone 2 laps down. He changed some tires in the pits on the caution, so I'm not sure if he's 1 or 2 laps down. He's trying to get it back. He's trying to move around Jeff Bodine right now, and does. That's the blue and red car coming around.
Jeff Bodine losing about 3 positions here. Jerry Punch in the pit area.
They were concerned about Jeff Bodine in his last caution flag. In fact, they were ready to bring Bodine down pit road and change right side tires. Bodine has told Waddell Wilson and the crew that the car is pushing very, very badly. They think they might have a right front tire going down, and yes, they just radioed in, and Bodine will be making the entry on the pit road next time by.
Yeah, he's dropping back in the field and is slowing to make a pit stop. Here he comes right now. Rather quick entrance to the pit area. Jerry Punch will call what's going on.
Waddell Wilson will bring the Levi Garrett's car to a halt. The crew now will look at the left side tires, but more importantly, they will change the right side tires. Jeff Bodine, a problem with that right front tire, possibly a costly problem. And Darrell Waltrip also on pit road as he's had his problem. Here changing tires on the Superflow car. Waltrip will be out headed down pit road. Bodine is out. It'll be a race to the end of pit road, and Waltrip will win.
And all of those cars, Jerry, will go a lap down. Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Bodine, and Tommy Houston at the same time in the Southern Biscuit Flour. Buick made a pit stop with a flat tire, so apparently they ran over something on the racetrack, perhaps some debris during the caution period, causing those tires to go flat.
So here comes the leader, Davey Allison, and behind him is Mike Alexander, and Mike has not yet gotten his lap back. It's a very special weekend here in Rockingham, North Carolina, not only for the Grand National race and the Winston Cup race that we'll televise for you tomorrow, but it's a weekend in which we honor Benny Parsons. Now, one thing about Benny Parsons, we're proud to announce that he will be a full-time member of the Winston Cup broadcast team next year here on ESPN, and he's joined us in the booth for some comments on this race. Welcome, Benny.
Hi there. I tell you what, Davey Allison we see in the picture right now, he is all in the picture by himself. He is head and shoulders better than anybody else today. But back in the pack, folks, we've got some unbelievable racing going on.
Here's Alexander. You can see how much distance there is between the leader, Allison, and the 84 car of Mike Alexander. And one car that has steadily progressed through the field is the car driven by Dale Earnhardt, car number 8. And there's the 17 car of Darrell Waltrip. Now, he is a lap down, don't forget, because of the pit stop that he just made. And we have a spin up in turn number 4, and I believe it involves, once again, the 98 car of Kirk Bryant, as he is sideways at the bottom of the racetrack, now has the car headed in the right direction. And this will bring out another caution period, and 2 of the 3 cautions have been caused by spins by Kirk Bryant in car 98.
No one was able to race Davey Allison back to the flag and get a lap back. He was so far out in front of everybody that they just simply couldn't catch him.
So Mike Alexander will have to wait for another time to get his lap back, as he just simply could not beat Allison back to the yellow flag. 3rd caution period of the afternoon. Allison is pretty much dominating this race with the 81 car of Bobby Hillin Jr. in 2nd and Rob Moroso running in 3rd. Now, there is Darrell Waltrip. Larry Newberg can tell us what is wrong with that car.
Well, Bob, nothing is wrong with the car. Same story with Tommy Houston. They pitted right next to each other. They both ran over apparently the same piece of debris on the racetrack. They were cut tires, not tire problems. Now, Darrell is making an extra pit stop here under this very rapid yellow flag after his last pit stop. Unfortunately, has lost a lap. Jeff Bodine, who was able to stay on the lead lap, is also coming into the pits this time. Jeff is taking on left side tires, and Tommy Houston is also pitting. So both Houston and Waltrip at this end of the pits down near turn 4 are taking 2 chances to stop here. Waltrip has left his pits. He's underway. He's back out into the field to be falling back to the tail. Houston is still up on Jackson. By the way, there was some drama during the green flag segment when both Houston and Waltrip stopped. Tommy Houston's 2 right side tires were left out on the racing lane, so to speak, the high speed lane here on pit lane. And when Darrell Waltrip went to pull out, they were still bouncing around, and Darrell drove into him, but not at a high rate of speed. I don't think any damage was caused.
All right, also during that series of pit stops, Larry, the 99 car of Tommy Ellis came in for a pit stop, but stayed on the lead lap. There is Jeff Bodine, car number 15, as he falls back into position on the field. We're under caution for the 3rd time at Rockingham. We'll be back right after these messages.
Okay, test 1, 2, 3. I got it all the way to the side now. Is that better? Is that better? Okay.
The 15 car's a lap down.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And so is Darrell.
Darrell, Houston.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good cars that are a lap down.
Yeah.
I think we might comment on the fact that it was good strategy on their part to come in, and since they can only change 2 tires during a caution, and they had just taken on right side tires, so basically they got on 4 new tires now, so that should help them. Now Earnhardt had made a pit stop during that other caution period, so he's moved back up to 2nd. He during the very first caution period, I should say. Yeah, 1 lap to go.
I can hardly hear Neil. Is there a button I can turn?
Sure. Talk to him a little bit. You got it?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Good. Yeah, Mike, I got you.
Back at Rockingham, North Carolina Motor Speedway, ESPN Speed World today with Busch Grand National Racing, the next to the last event on the 88 schedule, and a possible clinch of the championship for Tommy Ellis. Now we're about to go back to green from our 3rd caution period. The guys on the inside are those a lap down, including Mike Alexander, who leads the inside line. Brad Teague is there also, along with the number 90 car of Ed Barrier. Those guys, of course, will try to accelerate quickly and get out ahead in front of the leaders, so that if we have another caution period, they will get their lap back. But as they come down and the race resumes, it is Davey Allison in car number 28, the leader of this race, who makes the race to turn number 1 and will not have to concern himself with Alexander getting the lap back just yet.
But look who's on his bumper. That's Dale Earnhardt in the black car number 8. Earnhardt has made a pit stop during the very first caution period and has come back through the field all the way up to 2nd place.
That 4th car in your picture there is also a lap down, car number 75, driven by Brad Teague. Dale Earnhardt moving nicely now in 2nd position. Larry Newber.
About 10 laps ago, Dale was complaining that the car was pushing. No sense problem now. He has radioed in and said, hey, I'm ready to go, so let's watch Earnhardt. He says he's going to the front.
Well, he is going to the front. He hasn't made the move yet, but he's right there a couple of car lengths behind Davey Allison, the number 30 car, driven by Kyle Petty. Smokes coming out of corner number 4 and dropping to the inside of the racetrack. So it appears as if something is seriously wrong with that car.
And I think maybe Darrell Waltrip might have had a problem. Well, maybe he just dropped down. It looked like some smoke was coming from his car there for just a moment. But
you're exactly right, Ned, because the 17 has a right rear smoking when he goes in turn 1. Very bad smoke going in turn 1.
And the car number 21 of Larry Pearson is, we understand, about ready to come into the pits.
Here is Mike Alexander and Brad Teague, a couple of cars that are trying to get their laps back. Jeff Bodine is also trying to do so in car number 15. There's Larry Pearson in number 21 as he has come in, and Larry Nuber is there.
Well, Larry Pearson has come down pit road here, and they're not exactly certain what it is. Larry radioed in from out on the track and said, well, the engine's still running, but I don't have as much power as I did a few laps ago.
Evidently, Larry, he had a tire going down just as we saw Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Bodine and Tommy Houston a little bit earlier. And Waltrip had been in. The smoke, as Benny Parsons pointed out, it looked like it was in the turns and perhaps a flat tire. So Waltrip has come in for another unscheduled pit stop under green.
What happened was his right front fender was rubbing the tire, and they had going down in turn 1. And they came in, Jeff Hamlin, the crew, pulled the sheet out of the way, and Darrell is back. Not a lap down.
Not another lap down. He was already one lap down, so he's still just one lap down.
Several cars that are a lap down are really battling out there, trying to get a position on the guy ahead of them or behind them, and then trying to also
and trouble right there.
Brad Teague is spinning off of corner number 4. Oh, he just misses the entrance to the pit area, goes down into the grass, doesn't hit anything. A nice job, and we have a couple of other cars spinning up in turn number 4. The number 4 car of Andy Petrie from Newton, North Carolina, has spun in turn number 4 and is at the bottom of the racetrack. There you can see him trying to get the car headed in the right direction. So a couple of cars lose it in turn number 4, and here's Petrie now accelerating and getting back in the race.
Andy is the crew chief on Phil Parsons' short track program and will be the crew chief for Harry Gant next year on all of the Winston Cup Series.
Well, we had an exciting race to the flag while we were watching the car spinning in turn number 4. We'll replay it and show you exactly what happened.
Well, here's Ed Barrier in the car number 90. The white car on the inside touches the blue and red car of Brad Teague, the car number 75, and sends Teague into a spin down on the grass. Fortunately, he did miss the end of pit wall, so maybe not too much damage to Teague's car. He was already one lap down.
And there's another angle of it. You can see how close Teague came to that end of pit wall. That would have been a very tough contact, but he managed to stay away from everything and drove back out onto the racetrack. Now we see more pit stops being made. Dale Earnhardt is in. There's the Petrie car, number 4, that was involved in the spin up in turn number 4, and there is Dale Earnhardt in the pits. Jerry?
Well, they're adding fuel to the Earnhardt car, and apparently they will change some tires on the left side of Dale Earnhardt's car. Tony Urey and the crew, the Goodrich crew, servicing that car. Remember, the rule in Busch Grand National competition, you can only change 2 tires under caution here, as Darrell Waltrip is on pit road up with Larry Nuber. Larry?
Well, Jerry, they're actually taking some precautionary measures. They're putting new right-side tires on, and Jeff Hammond from the Winston Cup crew is himself out there just inspecting the situation. They were a little concerned they had a bad set of tires, of course, that I shouldn't say they didn't start out life bad. They got cut down. They wanted to make certain that it didn't disrupt anything on the right side. They took the opportunity to put more fuel in it, but repeating once again, it was not bad tires. It was not tire wear. They had cut tires down here in the Darrell Waltrip crew.
All right, so under caution once again with just a little over 50 laps completed in this 197 lap affair, as Davey Allison continues to hold on to the lead with the number 97 car running in second spot. We'll be back right after this.
That's Petrie.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Not
I
Petrie,
thought
yeah.
the way it was spelled, it would be Pet. Petrie.
Andy Petrie. He was my crew chief when I was over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my son's in part of his over-the-wall gang.
Oh, is it?
Down there.
Really?
I saw him down there a while ago trying to get that. I guess that he backed off when the other car spun, and the other 4 car ran him in the back of it.
Too bad.
Huh? Oh, Mike was in there too?
The name of Dale's Busch Grand National Racing team is DAJ Racing Incorporated, and how that DAJ came, it happens to be Dale's initials, but that's not how it was formed. Dale, Andy, and Jimmy. It was Dale Jarrett, Andy Petrie, and Jimmy Newsom that started out together in high school, built themselves a race car, and that's how the BAJ came.
Okay. All right. Oh, goody. Is that Harvard and Princeton again? Oh, whoopee. It's like the Bengals to me. That's right. All right. Yeah. Tomorrow, from the same location, North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham, the AC-Delco 500 Winston Cup race. And Bill Elliott has won the pole for that race as he continues to fight for the Winston Cup championship. It'll be on ESPN Live tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 Eastern Time. Here in this Busch Grand National race, we have Davey Allison leading with the 97 car of Morgan Shepherd running second. Third is the number 7 car driven by Harry Gant. In fourth position is the number 22 machine driven by Rick Mast. And in fifth position is the 42 car, and that's driven by Elton Sawyer. We are coming off our fourth caution period of the afternoon caused by a spin involving Brad Teague and Andy Petrie. Now the green comes out, and 3 abreast racing here as Tommy Houston moves to the inside with Jeff Bodine in the middle, and Bodine streaks ahead of our leader Davey Allison. So for the moment, Jeff Bodine has gotten the lap back.
Well, Davey Allison has not made a pit stop. He has run 55 laps now. That set of tires that he has on. Bodine has 4 relatively fresh tires on his car.
Jerry Punch can fill us in more about that situation.
The veteran crew chief behind me here said he would rather wait and let the field thin out just a little bit before he brings Davey in. There's still a lot of cars in the lead lap, and he doesn't want to put Davey back in the pack in all that heavy traffic where we had so many cars spinning and so much trouble now. And they're going to have to make a pit stop in the next 40 or 45 laps, but they're hoping for another yellow.
Rob, on that restart, we saw Tommy Houston get a good jump trying to get his lap back, but he has been called into the pits for the penalty, stop-and-go penalty, so that's going to put him a lap down. And here's Davey Allison now trying to put Jeff Bodine a lap down.
Allison moves to the inside in car number 28. That's Bodine to number 15. Allison has the advantage as they come off the corner. Let's see what Bodine does, though, as they come through this area in front of the grandstand. Jeff Bodine just will not give up the fight. He still has been able to fend off the challenge of Davey Allison. Now, this is not for the lead once again. Jeff Bodine is trying to get his lap back as Allison is clearly the leader of this race.
And his car is working well down on the inside, even though the tires are older than that of Jeff Bodine. You can see Bodine's car go out a little bit in the turns, and that allows Allison to pull up on the inside. But when they hit the straightaway, Bodine has the momentum and is able to carry himself back into the lead going into the turn. Not for the lead of the race, as you mentioned, but certainly the lead of this little battle here. But now Allison gets the advantage on the inside and puts Bodine a lap down.
I tell you what, it doesn't get much better than this. Great racing side by side for at least 2 laps.
Davey Allison has just been very, very impressive in the first 50, make that 60 laps of the race. He has never won a Busch Grand National race, but this could be his day. Now, look at this action. The number 11 car is Jack Ingram, and there's Dale Earnhardt in car number 8 as they battle for position. And there is Earnhardt as he is really moving now up toward the front of the field.
Of course, he had made a pit stop, changed a couple of tires, and he's passed about 13 or 14 cars since the green came back out. We'll see him back on the leaderboard before too long.
A couple of veterans there, the 11 of Jack Ingram and 2 of L.D. Ottinger, but we are watching Dale Earnhardt in the black number 8 car moving up through the field. That's Jimmy Spencer in car number 34, just ahead of Earnhardt.
Two-time National Winston Modified champion. Told me this morning that he plans to run for the Busch Grand National Championship in 1989.
We have, as a matter of fact, 3 modified drivers that were in this race, at least 3. Frank Fleming and Dave Resendiz also were in the field. Now look at Earnhardt at the bottom of the track. Oh, the car a little bit sideways, wiggling and wobbling. 79 car, the red car, is Dave Resendiz, one of the modified drivers that I talked about, that's just now to the inside of Earnhardt as he goes to the high side, an effort to pass Dave Resendiz, and he does so successfully.
He just simply tried to get too low below Resendiz there a moment ago, and that cost him the position that he had taken away from Jimmy Spencer there a little bit ago. Now Spencer battling with another car up in front of him.
So now Earnhardt has moved into 10th position already.
That's Kenny Schrader in the red car number 52 that Jimmy Spencer is moving around. Here's Dale Earnhardt trying to move down on the inside of Schrader. Boy, it doesn't take him long to pass him.
Well, that Earnhardt has to really go hard because this race is only 197 laps. It's not 500, and he started in the rear. So he needs to get by these people as quick as he can to get back up and challenge Davey Allison. With a 3 abreast, he wants to make it 4. Earnhardt, will he? No, he's decided not to make it 4 abreast.
That's Bobby Hillin Jr. in 81, and Spencer in 34, Ronald Cooper in 56, Earnhardt in the black number 8, and then number 52, Ken Schrader. Great action here. These guys are really going at it.
Well, that's what Red Farmer just a little bit ago, Jerry Punch reported. He was trying to keep Davey Allison out of the action in the back. That's what he's talking about, that 3 and 4 abreast. Davey Allison doesn't need to be in that.
Here comes Earnhardt really moving up through the field. That is Ronald Cooper in 56 that he is passing right now. Cooper, a little bit of tire smoke from that car. Jimmy Spencer in 34 is the car just ahead now of Dale Earnhardt, and then the 42 driven by Elton Sawyer.
And Jimmy Spencer is driving as aggressively as Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt might have the faster car at this point, but you know, Earnhardt passed Spencer already one time, but made a move that Spencer got back by him, and he's just been flipping those cars off one at a time.
Boy, Spencer, very impressive there in car number 34. He has moved into 6th position. Ed Berrier there is a 90 car, but he is not on the lead lap. So now Dale Earnhardt has disposed of Elton Sawyer in car number 42, but still the blue number 34 driven by Jimmy Spencer, Dale has not been able to pass. As a matter of fact, Spencer is keeping his distance.
And Jack Ingram, 5-time national champion of this division, has slowed as he went into turn 1, so Ingram having some sort of problem. Here's Harry Gant in car number 7. Gant, of course, running in the 2nd position at the moment.
To this man, Davey Allison, car number 28. He continues to lead and set the pace.
You can see how far away he has pulled from Jeff Bodine after he raced Bodine, putting him a lap down, and has moved away from him since then.
Coach Davey Allison has had that car at several Busch Grand National races this year. And I tell you what, this is by far the best that car has performed, and it's just, it looks like it's on a rope, that somebody's in the infield with a rope attached to that car, spinning it. There's a spin coming off the 2nd corner.
Paddy Moise has hit the wall hard.
Several others
coming from it. Here's car number 96 getting it on it.
Maybe some oil back there coming off of corner number 2 because Patty Moise spun, and then several cars behind her also did. And Jeff Bodine has gotten around Davey Allison as Bodine now will try to beat Allison back to the checkered flag and get the lap back. But there's the 04 car of Ben Hess, one of those involved in the crash on lap number 71, and Bodine does indeed get his lap back from Davey Allison.
Very heads-up driving by Jeff Bodine as we see them take Patty Moise from her car.
That's Chocolate Myers, isn't it? Isn't that Chocolate back there?
Yeah,
that lifted Patty out. That's, yeah. That's the gas man on Earnhardt's car that lifted her out of the car.
Well, he's certainly strong enough to do it, but Patty looks to be okay. Now they got her, on the ground and let her go under her own power. But boy, she took a nasty hit there.
Chocolate Myers, one of the more likable pit crew members, doing excellent work in the pit area and now serving as a rescue effort. But there you can see some cars that were involved in that crash at the exit of turn number 2 going into the backstretch. Several spun lost control and came in contact with the inside wall, including Patty Moise. There you can
Red Farmer, the veteran driver who is the crew chief on Davey Allison's car, qualified Patty's car. She couldn't be here, and here's Davey Allison coming into the pits now towards Red Farmer, who qualified the car for Patty Moise. And let's go to Jerry Punch, who is right there.
Davey Allison slides this Haviland Buick LeSabre to a halt there. They will put right side tires on the car. Harry Gant pitting just behind Allison. He will get left side tires. Gant has already made an initial pit stop for right side rubber. Dale Earnhardt also on pit road, but this is the first pit stop for young Davey Allison, 27-year-old driver. Gant's car already down and away. A lengthy stop by Red Farmer's crew, and Larry Newberg down in the Dale Earnhardt pit. Larry?
Things are going on routinely around the race car. Earnhardt has been in, he's out, he's got right side rubber, but one thing that did happen that was not routine is one of the tires that was taken off of the right front apparently went rolling down pit road and came to a rest on the inside of the wall separating the pits from the flyover here, but no other cars hit it. Earnhardt is down and away without any problems. Remember, here's a guy who's won 3 career North Carolina Motor Speedway races since this division has gone Busch Grand National Racing. He has been very strong here in this division.
Several had to take evasive action to miss that tire that became stray and rolled out toward the pit wall, but everybody missed it. Let's take a look again at the incident that has caused our 5th caution.
And coming out of the turn, the car gets a little sideways and hits the wall head on. That's Patty Moise in the car number 37. Boy, she hit the wall very hard. Brad Teague in the car number 75 goes by on the inside. Then we see other cars coming around. The car number 96, which is being driven by Tom Peck, spins around. The car 04, Ben Hess, also gets involved. I'm sure that they were not able to see Benny as they came off of that turn. There was so much smoke from Patty Moise's car.
Well, I would say that they probably were not able to see. There were some visibility problems, but one of them backed off the gas because of the smoke, and the other guy probably just touched him in the back, and they both spun because of that.
And as
I tell you what, you're right. She hit the wall a ton.
As we told you, Jeff Bodine did win the race back to the caution over Davey Allison. Allison, of course, retains the lead, but Bodine gets the lap back.
You know, there's a lot of things in this world that doesn't make any sense, and one of them is Chocolate Myers. Dale Earnhardt is pitting on the front straightaway. What's Chocolate doing on the back straightaway?
Well, I'll bet he's helping somebody else pit, not Earnhardt today. Now, Earnhardt has a separate crew for his Busch Grand National team. That's his own car. Now, maybe some of his regular Winston Cup team members work on it, but not all of them. And I'll bet Chocolate's on the backstretch pitting for some other team.
We are under caution once again here in the AC-Delco 200 Busch Grand National race on this Saturday afternoon. We're glad you could join us, and we'll be back with more of the action right after these messages. Hit for a ton, didn't she? Good grief.
Looks like she... They're going down the back straightaway.
Yes,
yeah.
4th.
Ned, I figured that's what...
Thank you.
Yeah, you
but,
that's right.
you know, I wanted to... Because he's on the front, and if anybody picked that up as to Earnhardt being on the front and him on the back, what's he doing back there?
Yeah, good point. And I think that he was helping Patty Moise.
Probably hip guy.
Yeah, I think that's what the point.
Question.
Yes, Larry.
Okay, hi guys, how you doing? Hey, Patty, how are you? It's Larry. Chocolate's working with Patty today.
Okay.
And it happened that she spun, hit the wall right where her pits are.
Yeah, exactly, on the back chute there.
Looked like he was carrying her over the threshold, didn't it?
Yeah, I talked to... I'm in Dale's pit right now. That's where I got that info, so...
Okay.
I heard you guys asking the questions, so I asked.
Thank you very much.
Good. Very good work.
Okay.
Music. Thank you.
to be a good chance for some of them other guys to get a lap back. I mean, not Mass can't run that fast, but probably not as fast as Davey Allison.
Man, you know, Ned, Wayne just pointed out Davey missed the show at Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right.
Missed the show.
Exactly.
Huh. Yep.
In that same car.
Yeah.
Earnhardt's.
Tony Lesser, Yuri.
E-U-R-Y?
Yuri.
Yuri.
E-U-R-Y. That's for sure. Give me a run down there, Ken, if you got it. No, thanks. How are the Bengals doing, by the way?
Close game.
Really, yeah. Hamilton, huh?
What'd they bring it by here for? Parade in front of everyone?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
They made a complete lap of that thing. Hey, Ned, Wayne just told me why that is because that pace car crash had at Darlington, they can't ever go backwards and come into the pits. They got to keep going forward the whole time. I didn't know that.
Yep. Okay. I've not failed to do that for years now.
Is that what Darrell said happened?
It's part of my daily routine. Yes, it is.
Drinking Busch beer.
All right.
That one on the right is. That other one's got a different color. Shame on her. One to go, it is.
Back at North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham, ESPN Speed World today for the AC-Delco 200 Busch Grand National Race. Let's go to Larry Newber, who's in the Dale Earnhardt pit.
With Grand National Crew Chief Tony Uri, who just told Dale Earnhardt, yep, Dale, one more time around, green flag. What's Dale saying from the cockpit, Tony?
Well, we're just trying to hold on, do the best we can do right now. The tires keep going away on us, so I guess whoever gets the best set of tires at the end.
He said he had a bad push about 20, 25 laps ago. It's still there?
No, the push is gone now. We got the stagger opened up and took a couple rounds to buy it out, so it'll just be on who gets the best tires.
Okay, Tony, and Ned and Benny, you can expound on this. Of course, when Tony says it's a bad set of tires, does not mean there's something wrong in the manufacture of them. The real key here in Winston Cup and Busch Grand National Racing is matching the tires. That's what determines a bad set of tires. If they're not matched properly and the car just doesn't feel smooth out at high speed.
Here comes the field off the fourth corner, ready to receive the green flag once again. Now, here are the top five as we go back to racing. It is Rick Mass leading. Jimmy Spencer is in second position. Elton Sawyer is third. Tommy Ellis looking to clinch the championship is fourth, and in fifth position now is the number 7 car of Harry Gant. So some rather unusual names heading this list right now, although I told you guys that this 34 car, Jimmy Spencer, although he's lagging behind here just a little bit to the 22 car, is running very, very well. Now we see that Larry Pearson and Tommy Houston have both passed Rick Mast, the leader, so they get laps back.
Well, Rick Mast is not running quite as fast as Davey Allison was when he was leading the race, so this gave some of those cars that were a lap down an opportunity to get their lap back, but Rick Mast is having a problem. Now Jimmy Spencer is taking over the lead. Mast very slow on the backstretch.
Cars are dodging him as Mast tries to stay high on the track. Everybody gets around him, but I'll tell you, that Rick Mast car is really causing a traffic jam as we see the number 8 car of Dale Earnhardt moving through traffic, as is the 97 of Morgan Shepherd. There is Dale Earnhardt in car number 8, the black machine.
I tell you what, this is really concerning me because obviously a lot of flat tires out there today. Rick Mast may not have a flat tire, but that's certainly the appearance that we get. And Bodine and Waltrip, there's been so many flat tires, and I don't really understand what's causing all of it.
It is very unusual, especially in this series. These cars are not as heavy as the Winston Cup cars. Look at Earnhardt making another pass on Elton Sawyer. Sawyer was running in the 4th position, so Earnhardt just took it over from him and is headed towards the front.
Without question, one of the faster cars on the racetrack belongs to Dale Earnhardt. Patty Moise had a hard shot as that car went almost head on into the wall in turn number 2, but Jerry Punch is with her right now.
Well, Patty has been checked out by the infield care center. And first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a headache.
What happened up there?
We're running down low. Something got loose, and I corrected, and when it caught and hit pavement it could hang on to, it just shot directly into the wall, and wasn't anything I could do.
Well, you're very fortunate. There was an oil fire in the engine, and of course, Tuffet Myers there to pull her out of the car. A little scratched up and has a headache, but otherwise okay.
All right, glad to see that Patty is okay. The lead belongs to number 34, driven by Jimmy Spencer, but the 7 car is the one we're watching. It is driven by Harry Gant, who is the pole sitter and early leader of this race. He's the 3rd car there in your screen. That's the blue car with Spencer leading. Then a lap car of number 84, Mike Alexander. Then Harry Gant in the number 7 Skoll-sponsored machine.
And Bob, while Jerry Punch was talking to Patty Moise, Rob Moroso, who won his first Super Speedway race in Charlotte a couple of weeks ago in this Busch Series, came in for an unscheduled pit stop for a tire change, and so did Rick Mast, who was leading the race not long ago. He apparently had a flat tire, too.
One of the cars we have not talked a great deal about is the 97 machine. That's the one right behind Harry Gant. The 97 car driven by Morgan Shepherd, and he is having a good race. Right behind Shepherd is Dale Earnhardt. So some Winston Cup veterans going at it here. Gant, Shepherd, and Dale Earnhardt. We talked early in the broadcast. Jerry Punch mentioned how important experience is to be competitive on this type of racetrack, and I think we're seeing that surface here this afternoon, although the lead belongs to a guy who is not all that experienced on Rockingham, North Carolina Motor Speedway, Jimmy Spencer.
He is running a very good race. We saw him racing with Earnhardt earlier before the caution came out and was holding his own against Earnhardt. He's looking for major trouble. On the backstretch going into turn 3, Brad Teague is up on the outside of the racetrack in car number 75.
Here comes the caution flag out once again. The leaders pass by.
Excuse me, Bob, a break for Tommy Houston and Larry Pearson, who had passed the leader, so they'll get back in the lead lap. Mike Alexander almost got his lap back, but not quite.
Well, Brad Teague has managed to get the car going again, and he took a wild ride down the backstretch, didn't he, Benny?
I'm sorry about that, guys, because I was just happened to be looking right at the accident when it happened, and it looked like that Teague was going to hit the wall head on, about like Patty Moise did. But tell you what, he did a beautiful job, and so did Jeff Bodine. What happened is there's Jimmy Spencer going down pit road, and we can see he was not quite as fast this last green flag session as he was earlier, so he's coming in, getting on some new tires, and try it again.
Well, not only is Jimmy Spencer in, but so is Harry Gant, so is Davey Allison, so is Bobby Hillin Jr., Jerry Punch.
Well, a lot of tire changing going on down here. Davey Allison's car on the pits for left side tires. Gant just leaving. He just got right side tires. Fresh rubber is really important. Davey Allison has only made one pit stop for right side tires early on, and the car was just not handling. The stagger was off, and you guys may want to comment. Fresh rubber seems to be the quick way here at Rockingham, and Allison going to come in and get fresh left side tires.
No question, Jerry, the newer tires are the fastest way to go. Now, every car started the race today on Goodyear tires. They seem to be the fastest. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day as far as tires are concerned. Here's Morgan Shepherd in the Valvoline Chevrolet, car number 97. Shepherd, of course, now has taken over the lead once Jimmy Spencer and Harry Gant came in. Will he stay in? No, he's staying out. He's not coming into the pits. Hasn't been too long since he was in. Dale Earnhardt staying out there as well.
Tommy Ellis, however, has come in for a pit stop. Tommy has come in a couple of times now in just the last few laps as he tries to wrap things up in the Busch Grand National Division here at Rockingham. Well, Morgan Shepherd has chosen not to come in for a pit stop. Larry Newber, can you explain why?
Bob, I just talked to Bob Rahilly from the Winston Cup team who was helping Morgan out in the pits down here, and he said, hey, there just isn't any reason to come out. We have seen everybody else have tire problems. They are not, again, the tire problems that we have become associated with seeing this year. It's not a bad tires or anything. The people have been running over debris. We have not seen excessive tire wear. And Bob just told me that Morgan says there's no reason to come in at this time. So the man who has won one time in 1988, although he has won 15 times in his career, says, I'm at the front of the pack, I'm feeling comfortable, and I think I can win this one.
Larry, this is a brand new automobile. It does belong to the Raymock team that Morgan Shepherd will drive for next year on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit. The first time that this car has ever been raced, they have built it for Neil Bonnet, but never did race it with Neil.
We are under caution because of a spin involving Brad Teague in car number 75. Our sixth caution period of the afternoon will resume with racing after this from Rockingham.
Well, Red Farmer just said that they may be able to make it all the way. There's 107 laps to go, and because of the 390 carburetor, they may be able to stretch it and stay out there and not have to worry about coming in for fuel. Of course, tires may dictate their stops, but they...
I think you're right as far as fuel is concerned. Yeah, I think they can do it.
Well, get it.
Well, yeah. Certainly those that made pit stops, yeah.
Remember,
Gant, 390. The B6 has got a 390 on it?
Yeah, all of them got 390s.
Okay.
Gant ran 115 laps here in the spring and ran out of fuel 7 laps from the end, so he stretched it too far.
It's one to go right now.
Back at Rockingham, the green is about to come out. Morgan Shepherd is the leader. He did not come in for a pit stop. Now, can those that just did make a pit stop go the rest of the way without another fuel stop? Jerry, can you answer that for us?
Well, it should be interesting, Bob. You know, Harry Gant ran 115 laps here in the spring and ran out of fuel just 7 laps from the end. He rolled the dice and came up short. They just have now 107 laps to go, 197 laps to make the conclusion of this 200-mile event here. So Davey Allison, he's pit stopped just a minute ago. They feel they can go all the way. Probably Jimmy Spencer and Gant's crew feels very confident they can go all the way on fuel. But tires may really be the dictating factor as opposed to any late pit stop. How about it, Larry Newber? What's Morgan Shepherd's problem?
Well, Jerry, I got down here after Morgan had stopped, so I do not know which lap he came in, but Bob Rahilly has just told me, yeah, we can go the distance too. We're going back to green.
Mike Alexander races Morgan Shepherd down into turn 1. Mike has been trying hard all afternoon to get his lap back, and right now he gets it back as they come off of turn 2, and Dale Earnhardt takes the lead.
Boy, finally Mike Alexander getting that lap back, but here comes Dale Earnhardt to the inside of Morgan Shepherd, and Earnhardt is going to go into the lead as Shepherd's car washes out and goes way high on the track. Here comes Jimmy Hensley in car number 5 to challenge Morgan Shepherd, and the lead is held by Dale Earnhardt. The number 5 car of Jimmy Hensley is 2 laps down, but look at Morgan Shepherd's car, how high it goes on the track in the turns.
Yeah, you wonder if he might have a right front tire going down on his car, because he shouldn't be going that high in the turn. Here's Darrell Waltrip coming by a couple of cars.
Here's a replay now of how high Morgan Shepherd's car went. Look at this in turn 3.
The car just drifts way up into the turn, and that's a pushing situation with the car. It's not loose. That means the right front is not holding the way it needs to as it goes into the turns.
All right, and Dale Earnhardt has passed Mike Alexander once again, so Mike is now a lap down once again. And a long afternoon for Mike.
And Morgan Shepherd is off the pace. He's down low going down the back straightaway. I would not be surprised if he wasn't heading for pit road this time.
We'll watch him. There he is, the black car number 97 coming off of the 4th corner. He is coming in for a pit stop, and Larry Newber will call what's going on.
Well, both Bob Rahilly and Butch Mock are down here in the pit area. They come to a stop. They go to the right side. Morgan turns down the water. They was offered. He said no. He was disgusted about it. They've gone to both the rear and the front and the right side, waiting to have that tire come back to find out exactly what the problem were. They take a little longer than usual, and Morgan's going to go down a lap. Oh, the hands go up in disgust down here. They're throwing parts and pieces, pit apparatus, because they really thought they could pull this off without losing a lap. The tires coming over the wall, and again, I will repeat, no excessive wear. Tires are going down apparently because they're running over debris. These tires are not wearing out as we have seen earlier this season.
All right, so Morgan Shepherd does go a lap down, and here are the cars that have dropped out of the race. The number 47 car to Billy Standridge. Patty Moise with an accident. Mark Martin is out. So is Joe Milliken in an accident, as was Tommy Sigmund in 07. Kirk Bryant has spun a couple of times and also dropped out of the race, as has Jack Ingram in the number 11 car. There's the leader, Dale Earnhardt, as we have reached the halfway point of this event. The cross flags being displayed right now, indicating to the drivers that we are halfway through this 197 lap event.
Well, we've seen a lot of action already for 100 miles on this racetrack.
I'm almost limp up here just in the halfway. I don't know what's going to happen if I stay up here and watch the rest of this race.
Well, there's Harry Gant to the inside of Rick Mast and Rob Moroso in the 2nd corner, as Harry Gant is in 5th position and just about to take over 4th. So Harry Gant is marching to the front, as is Davey Allison. There he is, the 4th car in line in the number 28 car. And again, where the indications from the pit area are that Davey will be able to go the rest of the way without a fuel stop. Harry Gant, though, is really climbing toward the front.
And Gant should be able to go the rest of the way as far as fuel is concerned, too. His car is working good now. They made an adjustment on the chassis of that car during one of their yellow flag pit stops, so he's getting it dialed in now the way he wants it, marching towards the front. Davey Allison caught up in heavy traffic. He's the car number 28 in the middle of that traffic. He didn't get to it quite as good as Harry Gant did.
Rob Moroso in 25 is a lap down, and so is Rick Mast in 22. Now there's a leader. We'll show you an interval between 1st and 2nd. And there it is. So there are about a full straightaway advantage for Dale Earnhardt. There is Gant crossing the stripe right now, so it's just about a full straightaway advantage for Dale Earnhardt.
In 2nd place, of course, is Jeff Bodine now. Running in 3rd is Kenny Schrader, all Weston Cup drivers. L.D. Ottinger running in the 4th position. 5th is Harry Gant. Davey Allison 6th. 7th now is Bobby Hillen. Tommy Houston back in the lead lap running in 8th place. 9th is Jimmy Spencer after making a pit stop. In 10th is Steve Grissom. Ronnie Cooper is 11th. Larry Pearson back in the lead lap in 12th. And 13th place is the car number 16 of Bobby Hamilton. And 14th was Morgan Shepherd before he made his pit stop. Tommy Ellison dropped back to 15th. Mike Swain 16th, and Joe Henry Thurman in 17th place. All of those cars in the lead lap, excepting Morgan Shepherd now, of course.
Davey Allison, the man on the move. You saw him get around the 22 car of Rick Mast. Now right behind Davey is the 81 car, driven by Bobby Hillen Jr. Here's the 25 of Rob Moroso and the 2 car driven by L.D. Ottinger.
Ottinger, of course, in the lead lap, running in the 5th position, former champion of this division many years ago. And there's Davey Allison taking over that position from L.D. Ottinger. So Allison now will go on the leaderboard, moving into 5th position. Allison's car still working, Bob, as well as it was early in the race when he was dominating up front, but he just had to come through a lot of traffic after making those pit stops.
Yeah, he has a lot of distance to make up between himself and the leader. Meanwhile, we have a battle shaping up between Ken Schrader at car number 52 and the 7 car of Harry Gant. As these guys go for third spot, Gant moves to the inside of Schrader. He's going to make the pass rather easily in turn number 4. So Harry Gant is now into that third position.
Kenny Schrader driving his own car, car number 52, something that he sort of plays with on Saturday. But he's very serious about it. But it didn't take Harry Gant long to move up and move around him, and now Gant beginning to move away.
There is Gant, pole center, early leader of the race, now up into third position. And there you can see the yellow and white number 15 driven by Jeff Bodine, and he is in second spot. So Harry Gant is very close to Jeff Bodine and will be making a bid here momentarily for second position.
Boy, he is coming up on him in a hurry. Look at him move up on Bodine. Now he's going to try it on the inside. Bodine takes the groove, though, as it goes into turn 3, but he moves high, as we saw Bodine's car doing early. And look at Harry Gant just move by on the inside. Boy, that car is working.
He is working. But I tell you, he has moved higher on the racetrack than any of the other competitors, and he has found himself a groove or a good place to run around. Then I watched this 8 car a little bit ago, and I want to watch you. We're going to follow him as he comes off turn 4. And I want you to look at the funny line that he takes off the corner. Look how low he is, but he don't let the car come back out to the wall.
No, he doesn't. Most of the cars drift up next to the wall completely, but he keeps her down low. So that means that car is working very well.
Working very well, and evidently the crew has told him that that's working good for him because it's an unusual line that he's taking. But evidently it's working very well for him.
I noticed that a while ago when he came off the 4th corner. I thought he was staying in the middle of the track to perhaps keep somebody behind him from gaining an advantage, but that's the line that he's been taking now for the last several laps, keeping the car in the middle of the racetrack as it comes off corner number 4. He is our leader, Dale Earnhardt from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Second place now belongs to Harry Gant as Jeff Bodine has fallen to 3rd. Schrader is 4th, and then Davey Allison.
The 84 car is smoking. Looks to me like the 84 car may be smoking.
Yeah, Tommy.
Turn him loose if he's been smoking.
I couldn't tell that thing. Doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, he's a lap down, but he's... the interval, you know?
Yes, 3.7. Okay. It was 4.5, but Earnhardt got some traffic that cost him a little bit of time. .5 now.
Jenkins, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, Larry Newber, and Jerry Punch back at Rockingham Raceway in North Carolina, where Dale Earnhardt is leading this Busch Grand National race. However, he is having some serious challenge from Harry Gant. Now let's go to Jerry Punch in the pit area.
Well, you know, Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett both commented a minute ago about how low Dale Earnhardt was coming off the corners. That was an excellent pickup, fellow, because I talked to Tony Urey, the crew chief down here for Dale Earnhardt, and he asked Dale, hey, how about it? Why are you running so low? Dale came back from the radio and said, hey, fellas, if I play low all day, we'll wear him out. And he's wearing him out right now. But one guy he's trying to keep away from is Harry Gant. Standing by with Harry's crew chief. A little bit loose there, was gathered it back in, but standing by for the Gant pit with Jim Hartman, the crew chief, is Larry Newber.
Well, Ed Whitaker is the owner of Harry Gant's race car. Remember, they've won 3 of the last 5 races. What about it, Ed? Is he moving in, or is Dale getting away?
He's gaining on Dale just a little bit. I think we'll be all right before the day's up.
Now, I saw a conversation with your crew in NASCAR a couple laps ago. What was that all about?
We're just checking to see if, make sure Dale was in the same lap.
He's definitely on the same lap, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, guys, up in the booth. Now, remember, Harry Gant has only run about half the races, and guess what? If he would have been able to maintain his point per race average all season long and run all the races, this would be the leader of the points coming into today's race.
And Ned, you've had the stopwatch on that interval between Earnhardt and Gant for the last several laps, and indeed, Harry is closing in.
Yes, he is. Bob, about 10 laps ago, he was 4.5 seconds. Earnhardt was ahead of Harry Gant. Now it has dropped down to about 2 6/10 seconds as Gant was moving around the lap car of Darrell Waltrip, car number 17. Now here's a battle between Jeff Bodine in car number 15 and Davey Allison in car number 28. That's for 3rd position.
Jeff Bodine, car number 15, Davey Allison, 28, fighting for that 3rd position. As Bodine has that spot nailed down right now, but here comes Davey Allison on the low side of the racetrack, really closing in on Jeff Bodine as they come out of the 4th turn and on to the tri-oval area.
Coming out from a car in front of him, and here's Davey again moving down on the inside as Bodine's car just simply won't stay down on the inside. Benny, I don't think that I've seen a Robert G setup car in this Busch Grand National Series work. I mean, it's not that bad, but normally his cars are perfect.
Normally his cars are perfect, but you're right, Ned. The car's going, when he goes in the turn, it just simply will not stay there. It goes up the racetrack. Just a moment ago, someone talked, Jerry Punch talked about Dale Earnhardt getting the car sideways. I think we've got it in replay, and I want you to watch this, Ned. There's a bump right here. As you come off turn 4, there's a bump, and when the car hits that, look what happens. The car goes sideways. We see Earnhardt in there correcting the thing. It wasn't a big thing, but that tells me that his car is a little bit too loose. He probably should move up the racetrack right now.
If anybody can pull him out of the slide like that, it's Dale Earnhardt. That didn't bother him a bit as far as he was concerned, but slowed him down a little bit.
Here's Allison once again making a bid for 3rd spot, trying to take it away from Jeff Bodine. These cars go into turn number 3 side by side, and Bodine gets high on the track, and now Davey Allison makes the pass of Jeff Bodine, and Davey Allison moves into 3rd. So it's Earnhardt, Gant, and now Davey Allison in 3rd, Jeff Bodine to 4th.
And now Harry Gant has cut Earnhardt's lead to less than 2 seconds. It was 1.9 the last time around, and Earnhardt is having to go high around some traffic. He's caught up in 4 cars right in front of him. There you see him coming up, and he's having to go high. He's been running that low groove all the time. Now he's having to run a groove that he hasn't run in a while. That might slow him down a little bit. Harry Gant has been running that high groove pretty well. He's been running wherever he wanted to on the racetrack and working for it.
So here's Earnhardt working the slower traffic, passing Steve Grissom. The number 90 car right ahead of Dale Earnhardt is Ed Barrier. Let's see the course that Dale Earnhardt chooses here. In turn number 4, he stays high on the racetrack.
And you can see Harry Gant coming into the picture there. He's not seconds behind him now. He's just feet behind him. Maybe 50 or 60 feet behind as Gant goes on the outside of that traffic. Earnhardt finally got through all of it, but Harry Gant got through it better.
So here is now Harry Gant, and he is going to pass Ed Barrier. Now there is just racetrack separating 1st and 2nd as all have passed the slower traffic for the moment. Harry Gant sets his sights on the leader, Dale Earnhardt.
And 2 of those cars that they left were Steve Griffin and Bobby Hamilton, who were running 13th and 14th. So now there are just 12 cars on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap is Tommy Ellison, running in 12th position.
Dale Earnhardt leads over Harry Gant. The question is there enough fuel in this Dale Earnhardt car to go the rest of the way? And Jerry Punch has been following that story. What is the story, Jerry?
Well, you might remember when the last caution flag came out, Earnhardt opted to stay out and lead the race. He did not pit, so Earnhardt has not pitted since lap number 80. Now, therefore, that's one reason we're seeing his car bob and weave a lot of the racetrack and look very loose because his tires are going away. As Harry Gant now pulling up closer and closer to Dale Earnhardt. Now Earnhardt will definitely have to make another fuel stop. His tires are going away. Remember, Gant and Davey Allison came in for fresh rubber and fuel. Both Gant and Allison can make it the rest of the way, but Earnhardt can't. He will have to make a pit stop about 30 laps from the end. So it may all be academic right now because Gant is really putting pressure on Dale Earnhardt.
To say the very least, and the interval is now less than 2 car lengths as Earnhardt continues to hold off the challenge of Harry Gant for the moment, but it looks like that Gant has the faster car on the racetrack.
And Bob, we have documented the car of Davey Allison, who has moved up into 3rd position, but he is about 7 9/10 seconds behind this duo that we see running up front.
There have been 7 leaders and 7 lead changes. Gant was the early leader. Davey Allison also led, as did Jack Ingram, Rick Mast, Jimmy Spencer, Morgan Shepherd for a while, and now the 7th leader of the afternoon is the current one, Dale Earnhardt. But Gant is right on his back bumper. This could be the opportunity that Gant is needing. They go down the backstretch. Gant tucked in right on the back bumper of Earnhardt, but chooses not to make the move at the moment.
It looks to me like when Dale Earnhardt moved up the racetrack, I don't have a stopwatch and was not clocking his lap time. It looked like when he moved up, he did pick up just a little bit.
Sometimes, Denny, when one car moves up on another, Harry's car was working so well moving up there, but once he gets in the draft of that car, it could upset it a little bit and not make it handle as well.
Exactly right, because those cars are running 150 miles per hour right going in that turn there. So there is a tremendous amount of air coming off that vehicle, and it will pose a problem for Harry Gant. Oh, Earnhardt slipped a little bit, and Harry Gant trying to take advantage of it.
Let's see if he does. They go into turn number 1, side by side. It's Gant to the inside and Earnhardt to the outside. They're still side by side all the way through the corner. Let's see how they come out of the backstretch. Earnhardt still has the lead as some of the slower traffic moved out of the way, but Harry Gant still could not make the pass.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I tell you, I knew Earnhardt wasn't going to back off and let him go. I just knew it.
One of the lead cars, L.D. Ottinger, one of the cars that was in the lead lap, he was running in 9th position, made a unscheduled pit stop for a change of right side tire, so he went at least a lap down.
So we're seeing a couple of Winston Cup guys lead the Busch Grand National Race at North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham. Back after this. At the end of 136 laps, the top 5, Dale Earnhardt, Harry Gant, Davey Allison, Jeff Bodine, and Ken Schrader, all 5 of those Winston Cup drivers. And 3 of the top 8 drivers in the 87 Busch Series moved into full-time Winston Cup rides, namely Brett Bodine, Dale Jarrett, and Mark Martin. Now we're watching the 52 and 34 battle, and there was a near crash involving these 2 cars.
Kenny Schrader in the red 52 on the outside and Jimmy Spencer on the inside, and boy, does he get her crossways doing a little dirt tracking off of there, but he managed to save it. Jimmy Spencer, a very aggressive race driver, a very good race driver. That was evidence right there. He's being able to pull that out and not spin it out.
And that was a battle for 5th position in which the near accident occurred.
Harry Gant, it looks to me like Ned has just about used his tires up getting to Dale Earnhardt. He can't put that run on Earnhardt that he needs to right now. I think he's just decided, I'm going to sit back and follow Earnhardt a little bit and try to get these tires back, cool off a little bit where I can get by.
But on the other hand, we already know that Earnhardt is going to have to come in for a pit stop, Harry theoretically can go the rest of the distance. So Harry really doesn't need to race Earnhardt at the moment.
Not really. He doesn't need to use his race car up. And primarily, when we say race car, we're talking primarily tires. The harder you run, the more you're going to abuse the tire. So, yeah, he's smarter to sit there and ride right now, even though he's moved right back on his bumper. So you never know. If the opportunity comes, he might just try to move around. We got the clock on Davey Allison, who has since left Jeff Bodine after taking over third. Now, we mentioned a moment ago that he was 7 9/10 seconds behind. He's 8.5 seconds behind now, so they are gaining on Davey Allison, pulling away from him.
So if Gant has to come in for a stop, it will be for tires. Larry, what do you know about the tire wear on the Harry Gant machine?
Above all the speculation I've heard from the three of you in the last 30 seconds here is absolutely correct. They do not think there's a tire problem. Harry has backed off just a touch. He was running consistent 26.60. Now he's backed up to about 26.95 as he follows Dale around. They're saying, no, nothing is wrong. We're aware of everything that you mentioned, and we're just going to sit him back for a couple laps, taking a breath, and let's see how this thing unfolds.
So for the moment, Harry Gant is content to be there in second position behind the leader, Dale Earnhardt, but we've got still about 55 laps to go.
One concern that Harry Gant and Dale Earnhardt and all the competitors that are running that high group is we've had a rash of cut tires this afternoon. There is a tremendous amount of debris up on the top side of the racetrack, and that's always one problem to encounter when you move up the racetrack, is running across a piece of metal and getting a flat tire.
Here's a battle for sixth spot, the number 34 car of Jimmy Spencer, which is now being passed by the 81 car of Bobby Hillin Jr. And you can see that Hillin did go into sixth position. That Spencer car has been running well all day. We did see him in a small sideways incident a couple of laps ago, and so the car maybe not handling quite well.
Yeah, I think he heated his tires up pretty good when he made that sideways spin there, and I'll tell you, it takes a while to get those tires cooled off. Now the 84 car of Mike Alexander moves around him. However, Alexander is one lap down.
And remember, he is the guy that is trying to keep Tommy Ellis from winning the Busch Grand National Championship this afternoon. He's a lap down and really does not appear to be in a situation to do so. Now there is Tommy Ellis as he's running right behind Mike Alexander. Remember, he only needs 4 positions above Mike to clinch the title here this afternoon.
There we see Mike Alexander's car smoking once again, but as long as Tommy Ellis can stay in that place and see Mike Alexander and know that he's a lap down and Tommy Ellis is in the lead lap, he's got this championship sewn up.
He can count the money if he can stay there for the rest of the race.
And if he can win the championship, it will be his first since 1981, when he was also the Grand National
Harry Gant is off the pace from the 7 car.
So Gant drops to the low side of the racetrack and is definitely not up to full song in that number 7 car.
There we see him going down the back straightaway. That's him on the inside, the green and white automobile. Darrell Waltrip goes by. The 5 car going by on the outside. Harry Gant heading for pit road.
Larry Newber will be there to call this unscheduled pit stop on the part of Harry Gant.
Bob, it's on schedule, and it's also a surprise to at least half of the crew. They do not know exactly what's going on. Now, Harry, of course, is talking to all the crew members as they go to the right side. They're taking this opportunity to put fuel in the car, but it is our information that is not necessary. They've completed their work on the right side. They don't even attend to the left side. Harry pulls out just as a crewman gets by. We'll walk over here, take a second to look at both of these tires. Again, we don't see anything that's readily evident. Harry obviously had indicated from the cockpit that he was not feeling comfortable with the tires that we had. Now we see once again that debris that Benny Parsons was talking about apparently has reared its head again. The tire that came off the rear definitely was cut. The tire in front, no confirmation yet, but on the rear tire for sure, it had been cut down by running over something on the track again.
And boy, that put him a lap down. That's a tough break for Harry Gant. However, that car is very fast, but he is a lap down. He's moving around Darrell Waltrip there, who is also a lap down, so he'll get that position back. We have, 8 cars left in the lead lap, so he still is in position to finish very well in the race, but his chances of winning right now have certainly been dimmed.
So a tough break for Harry Gant in car number 7 as the lead continues to be held by Dale Earnhardt, and now in second position position is Davey Allison as 8 cars remain on the lead lap. Tommy Ellis, by the way, has moved up to 6th position. There he is in car number 99, and he battles alongside now Mike Alexander, second in points. And if things continue to go this way, Tommy Ellis has the Busch Grand National title in hand. And Dale Earnhardt appears about to put Tommy a lap down in 6th position. We'll be back with more in just a moment from Rockingham.
Not too long.
Yep. He's not very far behind Earnhardt. He'll catch Earnhardt. He'll catch him by the time we come back.
Yeah.
Who, Harry?
And another 2 laps, he'll be on his back bumper.
Yep. All right.
All right, you better come back within about 45 seconds to catch Gant unlapping himself.
The top 5 at the end of 152 laps in the AC-Delco 200 from Rockingham. The leader is Dale Earnhardt, driving car number 8. In 2nd position now is Davey Allison. 3rd is Jeff Bodine. Ken Schrader runs in 4th spot, and Bobby Hillen Jr. is in 5th. But Bobby Hillen Jr. now comes in for a pit stop, so he will drop out. And here is Harry Gant getting his lap back that he just lost with the scheduled pit stop.
And he moves up on the inside of Dale Earnhardt. Of course, he has new tires on the right side. His car is definitely working a lot better than Earnhardt's right now because of those new tires. So he gets his lap back now. All he needs is a caution, and he'll be right back in this thing.
Bobby Hillen Jr. goes back out onto the racetrack after having made a pit stop, goes 1 lap down to the field. He was in 5th. And there you can see Hillen there in the yellow and white number 81 pulling back out onto the racetrack.
Jimmy Spencer, we've been watching some of his activities on the racetrack. He's in the pits for an unscheduled pit stop.
So the drama is unfolding here as Gant has gotten his lap back, but Dale Earnhardt continues to be the leader. And in 2nd spot is Davey Allison, Jeff Bodine 3rd, Schrader, and Gant.
Now that puts Gant in the 5th position. So there are 5 cars in the lead lap now. Not too long ago, we had 9 cars in the lead lap, and many of them have made unscheduled pit stop. Here's Davey Allison, who is now running in the 2nd position. We'll put the clock on him next time around, our stopwatch here. Just see if he's picked up any on Earnhardt. He walked about 8.5 seconds behind him.
It's amazing, just absolutely amazing the difference that new tires make. Just right sides when they go in and change, and we can go back on the racetrack and we can see just how clearly the advantage is when they put the new tires on. Harry Gant was a straightaway behind Dale Earnhardt, and wasn't it? In 5 laps he ran him down and passed him.
Davey Allison is losing ground to Dale Earnhardt. He's now 9 and 27/100ths of a second behind Dale Earnhardt. So Davey not running quite as fast as they did earlier in the race, or either Earnhardt is running faster. And they did make adjustments on Earnhardt's car, and it is definitely working better. But right now, Harry Gant is the fastest car on the racetrack as a result of the new tires.
There's your leader, Dale Earnhardt, whose crew, by the way, his Winston Cup crew, we should say, won the Unocal Pit Crew contest here at Rockingham earlier today. Now here is Earnhardt, and he's coming in for a pit stop. So Dale Earnhardt is on his way to the pits, and Jerry Punch is right there.
They knew they had to make a pit stop for fuel. They didn't want to run it too close. They thought they may have had about 10 laps to go. But Earnhardt said the car is getting so loose he can hardly drive it. So rather than take a chance on cutting a tire and hitting the wall, he will come in 10 laps early. Right side rubber on the car. Tony Urey and the Goodrich crew changing those right side tires. Good pit stop in the Goodrich Chevrolet down the way.
And Jerry, he was able to do that. He had a good enough lead over Davey Allison that he can stay in the lead lap. Of course, he did lose the lead, but more importantly, he stays in the lead lap.
You know what, Ned? Somebody down there was doing some pretty good thinking, because I was standing here watching this race, and you know what? If this race had run green flag the rest of the way, Harry Gant was going to win the race, because he was clearly that much faster than all, and Earnhardt had to stop again. So he was going to catch Davey Allison, Jeff Bodine, and all the rest of them. So Dale Earnhardt right now, he can win the race.
Yeah, he's about 2 seconds behind Harry Gant. Now that'll drop Earnhardt back to the 4th position. It moves Harry Gant up to 3rd. Davey Allison is the leader. Jeff Bodine is 2nd. And now Harry Gant has moved to 3rd, and Dale Earnhardt to 4th.
And the number 52 car of Ken Schrader was in the top serial. However, he pitted at about the same time that Dale Earnhardt did, so he has dropped out of the top 5.
Now we'll see if Dale Earnhardt, and you can see Harry Gant's car just go out of the picture. Here's Earnhardt as he comes off at turn 2. That's how far behind he is, and let's see now. He has fresher tires than does Gant. Let's see if he can run Gant down like
I tell you, I watched
him down.
I watched the 15 car a little bit. Watch him tiptoe through the corner net. His car is so loose, it's unbelievable. He needs desperately to get in the pits and change tires, but he doesn't want to give up that 2nd place and being in the lead lap. He's just desperately praying for a caution flag right now.
He does have a full straightaway lead, though, over 3rd place Harry Gant, so Bodine is trying to hold on to 2nd position with a very ill-handling race car. Lead held by Davey Allison. And we have completed now 153 laps of the race. There is the number 28 Haviland Buick, driven by Davey Allison. We'll be right back.
Excuse me. I tell you,
15 car is 8 6/10 seconds behind the 28 car.
half a lap.
Figure that out.
Yep.
And Earnhardt definitely is gaining on Harry Gant. Yeah.
Yes. North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham. ESPN Speed World with Busch Grand National Racing. The AC-Delco 200 being led right now by the number 28 car driven by Davey Allison. There he is circling the track and passing the number 84 car driven by Mike Alexander, who has all but lost the Grand National Championship. Now here is a battle for position. It is Harry Gant in car number 7 going into second spot, dropping the 15 car of Jeff Bodine back to third. Bodine is having trouble with that car. We could see him dropping to the inside of the racetrack to make a pit stop. In the meantime, it's Dale Earnhardt who is taking over third, and here comes Jeff Bodine. Larry Newber is there to call the stop.
Well, just before the pit stop, Bob, I went over to Waddell Wilson, who was crew chiefing here today for Jeff, and said, "Hey, Waddell, what's your problem?" He said, "We don't really know exactly what it is." Yeah, Jeff says the car's getting very loose, and Benny recognized the leaders are coming by right now, so Jeff Bodine goes a lap down. Once again, attention to the right side only, but now to the left side. They're going all the way around. They just cannot figure out exactly what caused this car to get as loose as it did. They either have a tire going down on one of the corners. They don't think it's something to do with the setup. Oftentimes the chassis will go away just a little bit. So Waddell has decided against that. 28.4 seconds. Jeff Bodine spends in the pits, and that is an eternity at Rockingham.
But definitely eliminates him from any possibility of a win this afternoon. So Jeff Bodine will be back tomorrow to try it in the Winston Cup race. There's the leader, Davey Allison, in car number 28. And the battle for second position now involves the number 7 car of Gant and the 8 of Dale Earnhardt.
And they are 10 3/10 seconds behind Davey Allison, but they are gaining on him. Remember, both of these drivers have made green flag pit stops, and they're still only 10 seconds behind Davey Allison. And Earnhardt has just gradually caught up with Harry Gant lap after lap after he came out of the pits, and he's about ready to try to take it.
Let's watch to see if Earnhardt will make a move here on Harry Gant for second position, as Earnhardt drops to the low side of the racetrack, but Gant still hanging on.
Earnhardt just doesn't like the top of the racetrack, the high side of the racetrack today for some reason. He wants to run on the bottom, and this car runs very well on the bottom, whereas Harry Gant wants to run on top.
Gant way up high there in the third and fourth turns.
Yeah, that's sort of a characteristic of Harry Gant. He likes to run as high as he possibly can.
Passing the number 40 car driven by Frank Fleming, whom we have seen yearly at North Wilkesboro in the modified race.
See what happens to Earnhardt when he runs across traffic or has to pass a car on the outside. We see the distance that Harry Gant puts on him. Now then, if we can get into a situation they can run a couple of laps with no traffic, Earnhardt will pull right back up on the rear bumper of Harry Gant when he can run his groove.
But he has to be able to run that low groove. Now he's able to do that if he goes into turn 1 this time. He stays down low on the inside of the racetrack.
Two very distinct grooves being shown here by the second and third place competitors. Gant on the high side and Earnhardt on the low.
Well, maybe Dale Earnhardt used his tires up in catching Harry Gant, because he just chopped away. He was a little over 2 seconds behind him when he came out of the pits, and he just continuously moved up on him. As we saw him when we came back on there, he was right on his back bumper, but now Gant has pulled away a little bit.
The lead is held by Davey Allison, car number 28. There he is.
And I tell you, we are going to have ourselves a barn burner if this thing goes green, because Harry Gant is coming, folks. He is gaining by leaps and bounds, and so is Dale Earnhardt.
21 laps to go. Allison leads. Here comes second and third.
And now Gant is 7 2/10 seconds, so in the last, 6 or 7 laps, he has gained 3 seconds on Davey Allison.
He's coming, folks.
And he does have enough time to close in with now 21 more laps to go. We're at lap 176.
He'll have to gain about a third of a second a lap to do that, but he's been doing that for the last 8 or 10 laps.
Checking the interval here, and the clock stops at 6.2 seconds.
So he's gained a second in the last 2 laps.
It looks like Davey right now is just tiptoeing through the corner, Ned. I mean, I realize we can't see it on the television screen, folks, but I'm able to look out the window of the press box here and see the car going through the corner. Look, the car got sideways there. He's just tiptoeing through the corners right now.
His car's getting very, very loose. Said he had enough fuel to go the rest of the way, and our pit reporter said the tires might be the problem, and the tires have gone away. He just simply has used them up.
And now almost another second is clipped off.
There we see, ooh, boy, did he get high that time. Look at Harry Gant. He is driving that thing hard. His crew is telling him how far he is behind. Not only are we clocking it, but his crew's clocking it too and says, you're gaining, keep it going. Boy, he just drove on down into that corner. He pulled it out, though.
And that's where all the debris that we have talked about throughout the afternoon. Look at the car go high once again there, coming off the fourth corner. All the debris that has been cutting tires on the racetrack is up there in the high groove, so Gant stands a chance to run into trouble if he keeps up that move.
I'll tell you one thing that's bothering them when they go into turn 1 down there. It's not as big a problem today as it will be tomorrow in the AC-Delco 500, but the sun, when it starts setting in that turn down there, Benny, that is murder for you guys going into that turn.
But as you go by the start-finish line and turn into turn 1, Ned, exactly, you're going straight into the sun, and you really and truly can't see anything. And tomorrow the forecast is for a beautiful, clear day here. It will be a problem.
And we'll see Benny and the other Winston Cup competitors in that AC-Delco 500 beginning at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon live here on ESPN. We'll be right back.
About 3.5 seconds, man.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. All righty. 16 laps.
Oh, yeah.
But his tires is going to be shot when he gets there.
Okay, yes I do. We are just about to wrap up 200 miles of action here this afternoon. Tomorrow, 500 miles in the Winston Cup AC-Delco 500 from here in Rockingham. It all begins live at 12:30 Eastern Time here on ESPN. And we are in the closing stages of this 200-mile race. Davey Allison is the leader. However, his lead has shrunk now to about 2.5 seconds. Let's go to Jerry Punch quickly.
The red farmer told me that, you know, this is our lucky car. This car we've raced 5 times. We've raced this car 5 times. We have finished in the top 10 all 5 times. Our best finish was 4th at Darlington on ESPN. He said, it is really our lucky car. In fact, it's our only car. And they better have a horseshoe in their pocket right now because Dan is really reeling them in.
He sure is, Jerry. And the number 99 car of Tommy Ellis makes a quick pit stop and goes back out there.
For fuel only. He didn't have enough fuel to make the distance. He was in the lead lap in 5th place, but he'll go a lap down, I think, now.
I think he will, but Tommy Ellis is probably going to be a couple of laps down. But his main competitor in the Grand National point standings, Mike Alexander, made a pit stop just a few laps ago while we were waiting on the break. So he could make that pit stop and still maintain the championship.
Looks like that Tommy Ellis is definitely going to win the 1988 Busch Grand National Championship here this afternoon if he continues to stay out there for the next few laps.
12 more laps.
Here's Allison off corner number 4.
And Harry Gant continues to move in. Right now, Bob, he has moved it down to 1 2/300 seconds, so he continues to tick it off between he and Davey Allison.
It is definitely going to be a shootout to the finish.
They're in the same corner right now. They're just car lengths apart. Harry Gant is just a few car lengths behind him.
Morgan Shepherd in car number 97 momentarily between the two. Now Shepherd drops to the low side of the track and passes the leader and gets a lap back on Davey Allison. But there is Harry Gant, and there are 10 more laps to go. Gant sneaks up right on the back bumper of Davey Allison. Let's see if he can take the lead right here. In corner number 2, Allison's on the high side, and Harry Gant is on the low side. And number 7, they go down the backstretch. They are side by side. They go into turn number 3 side by side. It is Allison with the high line, and Harry Gant moves into the lead.
Now what Harry Gant's got to be concerned about is that black car, the 3rd car back, Dale Earnhardt.
I got a feeling that Dale Earnhardt, when he pulled up on Gant's back bumper, said, hey, I can do it. I'm going to cool my tires till the end of the race here now. He has gained back on Harry Gant. Look at him. He's coming up in a hurry. He moves around Davey Allison, takes over 2nd. Now Earnhardt begins to make his move as Darrell Waltrip comes into the pits. Waltrip had moved up into the 4th position. Has to have a little bit of fuel. He gets that, heads back out, but the race is on for 1st right here.
A splash and go for Darrell Waltrip, but Dale Earnhardt is threatening to take away the lead from Harry Gant with less than 10 laps to go. It is Gant in the middle of the racetrack, and look at that low line that Dale Earnhardt continues to run. He has to move up now in the racetrack to pass the 17 car of Waltrip just coming out of pit road. But Dale Earnhardt using that lower groove to try and take the lead away from Harry Gant, who's running high on the track.
And is he running high? That time he went all the way up in the debris once again. Able to maintain that 2 or 3 car length advantage on Dale Earnhardt, though.
I tell you, it takes a lot of guts to drive a race car that high on the racetrack, but Gant knows what he can do, how the car feels up there, and it's working for him. Here's Darrell Waltrip trying to move up on the back bumper of Dale Earnhardt, but I don't believe that he'll get up there and mess up the race between those two because he is a lap down now. Even though he's still in 4th position, he's 1 lap down. Only 3 cars in the lead lap. The car number 28 is Davey Allison, who they just passed not long ago, is still running 3rd.
Harry Gant has won in Busch Grand National competition 3 times this year, and if he wins today, he will have the most wins in 1988, and he has won 7 times in his career in Busch Grand National competition.
Ned, I think you came up with an excellent point just a moment ago. I think Earnhardt did cool his tires and just save them until he could get to Gant. But once he got there, I think he used the tires too much, and now he just can't. I don't know. He's just 2 car lengths back right now, 5 laps to go.
Well, it's showing tail time right now. As he's got his brake left, he's got to use it right now. And you can bet you, Bob, look at him try to move on the inside, following L.D. Ottinger around there.
Here they come off the fourth corner. Earnhardt may make a bid here. He's going to be the meat of the sandwich going into the first corner. Ottinger on the inside. Oh, he almost loses it. But has it gathered in. Now he's fighting the car as tire smoke rolls off the machine, and still he can't take the lead away from Dan. In fact, he lost a few feet.
And that tire smoke coming off of those tires is going to hurt him a little bit, Bob, because that heaved him up a little bit more, but he's going to drive her hard through those turns trying to make it up.
This completes lap number 193. 3 more laps to go. That was lap number 194. 3 more laps to go. Dale Earnhardt in car number 8, trying desperately to take the lead away from Harry Gant in car number 7.
I think he used up some tires there when he made that bid there a moment ago and got
Davey
the car
Allison
sideways.
spins going down the back straightaway. He keeps the car under control. There's no caution flag. No caution flag.
A lap ago, I noticed Davey Allison. It wasn't on your screen, but Davey Allison got up very, very high coming out of corner number 2, and the next lap he looped it coming out of the second corner. But there is no caution because he kept it going. And so the battle for the lead is continuing. The white flag is about to come out. Here comes Gant. Here comes Earnhardt. One more lap on this 1.017-mile racetrack. Who is going to win it? Will it be Harry Gant or Dale Earnhardt? It is Gant way up high on the track once again. Down the backstretch for the final time. They're separated by about 3 car lengths. If Dale Earnhardt is going to win this race, he's going to have to do it, and I don't think he is going to be able to. We watch him come out of corner number 4. Gant maintains the lead, and he crosses the stripe and wins the AC-Delco 200 with Earnhardt about 2 car lengths behind.
They passed Davey Allison just as they came across the start-finish line to put Davey a lap down, but Davey would remain in the 3rd position. And what a drive to this win here today. And what a drive for 2nd place. Both of those drivers really drove their heart out.
And the 1988 Busch Grand National champion is Tommy Ellis in car number 99. He wasn't competitive as far as in a battle for the lead all day, but he played it conservatively, and he did what he wanted to do and win the Grand National title as his only rival. Mike Alexander just had a terrible day, making numerous pit stops after having started in 38th position, and so Gant is the winner of the race, and Tommy Ellis is the winner of the championship. Back in a moment. Thank you, sir.
God, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Woo, that's a good race. Thank you, Ned, for letting me.
That's a good one.
Hey, Neil, thanks, guys. Mike, thanks. I'll see y'all later.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to get their attention.
Okay.
They got the message. Okay.
I want to know where the Bud man is. He better have a truckload. Yeah.
I think we've done this before, haven't we?
To Jerry. All right. Now we don't do the billboard before or after. Okay. Okay. Good.
Well, it's kind of a surprise.
Well, I don't know. You know, the crew done a terrific job today. You know, calling those pit stops when they did all during the day. The tires were going away so quick on us there that everybody was having a problem. I think we caught it there quickest. The best thing to do is keep tires on it. So we give up a lap, you know, a couple times, and it paid off. They got me out of the pits good. Everything just worked perfect for us today.
Well, at one time you came in and both the right side tires were cut down late in the race.
Yeah, I know it. I told him, I said, I got to have the flat tires the way this thing's driving now, and I'd almost going into the wall. And I hate to come in and give it up to Earnhardt there. Earnhardt ran a hard race, and so did Jeff, everybody else out there today. And I didn't know he was going to be able to stay in front or not there. You know, with the Jim Ruggles Buick V6 ran good all day today, and we're just glad to be here at the Skull Bandit Buick.
Tell us about those last dozen laps here. It looked like everybody was sliding around out there.
Yeah, I think, you know, the inside tires are the tires that you had not put on at the previous lap. Caution was gone away. And it got so hard to go, you couldn't afford to make any mistakes. I'm looking at Earnhardt back there, you know.
Okay.
I said he was having about the same problem I had, so I just went to concentrate on him, trying to run a little lower through to the middle of the racetrack. About the same what I had in the last two laps. Yeah, he was running strong, and I didn't think he could get around though, because the track was so slow to the track. I tried to pass him one time earlier, and I ran him down. So I thought it was best to fall back and save the tires, but how hard it would be to pass with the tire cord on. Congratulations. Thank you very much. She said, I didn't know you were running today. I said, well, I won't win. Every time she comes, I don't win.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're clear, yeah.
A very hard-fought race here at Rockingham has been won by Harry Gant. Let's go to victory lane, Dr. Jerry Punch.
We said at the top of the show, Harry, that experience would pay off here, and you had the hot head. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said earlier, the Buick V6 engine ran just perfect today, and the crew done a super job on the pit stops. The main thing I think that brought us through at the end was the chassis setup that we had on the car. The chassis setup, you know, it gave me a few more laps on the tires at the last, and I was able to run those last laps at a pretty good pace. You know, Earnhardt was running good too, but we was managed to hold her on in the corner without having to drift up or lose the rear end of the car, and the car just worked perfect and gave us a big advantage on the tires.
You had to see Dale coming. With 4 laps to go, he pulled to your rear bumper and made his move in turn 1. Then what happened?
Well, it's kind of a one groove. I was trying to go in slower and get off quick. That's the key here. And the same way in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 both. And he would gain up, but as long as I got set and gone without him being beside of me, you know, I was in good shape if I could do all the last 5 laps like that.
The crew did an excellent job. You had trouble early on. You had some tire problems.
Well, we had a tire problem, and my biggest thing, my radio, I didn't intend to pit the first time, but my radio helmet headset come loose, and I couldn't hear. So, and I really need a little adjustment. I think I had a tire that was kind of going bad, so I felt it best to go ahead and come in and get my radio fixed and put some fresh tires, and we'd have 20 laps on everybody else. But calling the tire shops today and getting us out of the pits was key to us winning this race today.
Harry Gant, his 4th win of the season here in the Busch Grand National Tour. We said experience and necessity, patience a virtue. He was patient and is in victory lane.
And our Winner's Circle interview has been brought to you by Goodyear Eagle Tires. Goodyear, because there really is a difference.
We have a
Gant
PA.
wins the battle, the war, though, the season-long war won by Tommy Ellis, and we'll be back to talk with the national champion after this. This is our last segment. Yes, I do. Yep. Right. Total of 3 minutes. Okay. Good. Thank you. Sure. Schwinn Bowflex, huh? Tay. Oh. Okay. The top 10 finishers in the AC-Delco 200. Harry Gant wins. Earnhardt was second. Davey Allison third. Darrell Waltrip fourth. And Tommy Houston finished in fifth spot. In sixth position was Jeff Bodine. Seventh, Bobby Hillen Jr. Ken Schrader was eighth. Ninth was Tommy Ellis. And 10th was Dave Rezendes. Tommy Ellis finishes his ninth position. His adversary, who was Mike Alexander, finished 17th. Tommy's the national champion. Here's Larry.
Well, Jerry mentioned that Harry Gant used patience to win this race. Here's a man who won the whole season. And Tommy, I think you really employed patience the last month here, haven't you?
Well, I've had to be, and especially today. It's just a lot of times on the restarts, they would jam up 3 and 4 deep, and lap cars, they were all over the racetrack. And sometimes I'd let as many as 7 or 8 cars pass me, and I'd work my way back up through them. And it'd take my time. I had a car that could run good, and I could have run a lot better, but I just had to be too cautious. And I needed left side tires at the end when I really could run good and felt like a car could go good. My left sides were worried. We didn't get them on all day. And I feel like if we could have, we'd have really been able to run the top 2 or 3. And of course, Harry was strong, and you got to congratulate him. And I got to congratulate, Mike Alexander. He ran me hard and clean all year. I've got to thank my crew chief, my crew chief, Mike Hillman, and especially my co-owners, John Jackson, Bill Papke, and this whole team. It's a great team. We worked hard. I got to thank the people that stood behind us, Townsend Race Cars, Pro Shocks, Goodyear, Union Oil, especially Buick Motorsports.
You must really be looking forward to the next race. Now you can go to Martinsville and race. You've come a long ways, and you must be looking forward to the next race.
Yeah, we're going to go to Martinsville and let it all out, and we're going with a good engine and good car, and we're going to win the race, and that's what I want to do.
If I were a betting man, I would not bet against this guy. He may win number 4 of the season next race at Martinsville, Bob.
Well, the championship has been wrapped up with a great battle for second in the Grand National standings between Mike Alexander and Larry Pearson. Will go down to the final race in Martinsville tomorrow here at North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham at 12:30 Eastern Time. Live coverage of the AC-Delco 500 Winston Cup race, and Bill Elliott will start from pole position in that event. Today's AC-Delco 200 has been brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. By Schwinn Bowflex, a totally new concept in total body workouts. And by Purolator, the first name in filters for Pure Oil now and Pure Oil later. It's Purolator. My thanks to Ned Jarrett and Benny Parsons in the booth, and our pit reporters Larry Newber and Dr. Jerry Punch. We'll see you at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for the Winston Cup race. For now, this is Bob Jenkins. Thanks for joining us. For now, so long, everyone. Okay. All right.
We're looking good now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ned Jarrett has just arrived. See you this evening. Oh, okay.
You want to ride with me? No, I don't use them. No, let me follow you. Okay.
Well, we don't have anything to drink up here. This is a fine time to discover that, but Ned is indeed on headset. He is listening to you as we speak.
Hello, I'll talk to you. Sure. Okay. I appreciate you getting things worked out so I could go down and get that done. Got propositioned a couple
The reason
times.
I appreciate it because I've done a lot of close for me.
Well, we're going to need that air conditioner and that sunshine.
Yes, we are. Bill Elliott looks for his first Winston Cup championship. Rusty Wallace turns up the heat. And Dale Earnhardt continues to hang on. The three come to Rockingham with one fixed vision: